From California, I fly to Illinois. Then Eric and I drive through Canada and home to California in autumn splendor with a special autumn harvest in Oregon.
It's autumn, and it's autumn in my heart. For love, like the leaves, is falling into the abyss. Where did I go amiss? I must nurture my delicate flower, take her on a journey to nourish her with the fresh wind and the warming beauty of autumn. For this much I know, adventure with nature is a most powerful love call.
My dear, as the season changes, I too change inside. As I focus on nature, colors emerge, feelings evolve. I reach out for your hand, and as fast as the wisp of autumn wind, I fly from California to Illinois.
What a wonderful surprise! I'm smitten, but don't tell anybody that I'm wearing my heart on my cheeks.
How can I refuse your invitation for a long drive in the fall to see the beautiful tapestry of the sprawling countryside and the colors dotting the mountains, looking like ribbons on nature's hair?
The golden plains of Iowa reminds us that the harvest season is here. We see straight rows of corn stalks rendered earless by mechanical hands. Here at the Corn State, my coworkers Elaine and Andy left the Bay Area to be headhunters in their quiet little farm. Andy, a Silicon Valley expert, is now an expert at the axe. But he hasn't learned to use the pitchfork. Elaine, with a PhD in corn genetics, must be in heaven surrounded by nature's lab.
What a corny joke. Eric shows me Grinnell College in Iowa, where he studied languages and brain science. Later, he finished with philosophy at UC Berkeley. Eric, the philosopher, once said to me, "I like the autumn season best because it makes me ponderous and melancholy."
The clear, bracing air stimulates our mind into the jovial and bounty mood of harvest. On this stretch of Minnesota, we see generous servings of jelly rolls, lemon bars, triangular wafers, and freshly baked loaves, great with Thanksgiving dinner. Autumn harvest is enticingly colorful. Here by the roadside we buy peppers and golden sweet corn, depositing money in an unattended box.
Soon we reached the Washolik property on Grindstone Lake. Eric had longed to share with me his favorite childhood retreat every summer. We camped indoors, staying close to the fire all night, listening to the autumn wind of Hayward, Wisconsin. The next day, we sit admiring the lake over coffee and luscious golden corn. We visit another lake, wondering at the shoots growing out of the tinted water.
We drive along the country roads made alive by oaks and birches, maples and beeches, whose leaves bring the summer growth to a striking rainbow's end. The rainbow brings us hope through colors and cheerfulness through sunshine.
Deep in the woodland, we enter the painted forest. As my eyes feast on the chromatic colors, my heart starts to sing in chromatic tones. I feel at home in my outdoor lab, where I'm transported into a symphony of chromes and chromates and dichromates.
Spoken like a true chemist. Why fall is not the time for falling out, it is the time for falling in. Let's fall in love. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove, that valleys, groves, hills, and fields, woods, or steepy mountain yields.
If all the world and love were young, and truth in every shepherd's tongue, these pretty pleasures might me move to live with thee and be thy love.
Before dusk, we have a serpentine drive in and out of Canada. The central provinces of Manitoba and Saskatchewan are flat and boring.
We see endless fields bare from the autumn's reaping, with father neatly coiled into jelly rolls, which this truck is transporting to the dinner table of the large gods of autumn.
What would spice up our long drive through the Canadian prairies? A farm stay. Here at Windy Hill Farm is a nice widow who lives with her son and family and her cat. After milking the cows, she gives us a very satisfying breakfast of homemade bacon, butter, and fresh milk and blue-shelled eggs. We were shell-shocked with the food she shelled out. Goats, rabbits, and peacocks complete her menagerie. Hay is abundant and enticing. What do you suppose we do in the hay?
We're not telling. We enter Alberta, where the terrain dramatically changes to rolling hills. Calgary, the capital, comes alive with nightlife. Disguised as teenage lovers, we dance the night away, for we are young at heart. Calgary comes alive again in a different light. After sunrise, it looks like a city of gold.
Further up the mountain is the Banff National Park. In mountain sunshine, we pause to absorb nature's beauty. No matter where you look, there's a patch of yellow and a peak peeking out at you.
High up in the Rocky Mountains, we see an endless display of the season's charm. The painted trees.
With carefully calculated timing, we reach Montana's Glacier Park before sundown. We traverse the very steep, treacherous, but very scenic path called Going to the Sun Road. The warmth of the sun dispels our fears as we drive west to meet the sun. Russet and gold and persimmon orange are just reward. Is this a simile of colors? Or an alliteration of autumn?
In the lowlands of Montana, we settle at Helena, the capital. We wake up to a mysterious lingering mist, a reminder that autumn chill is in the air. We see Montana's style of stacking jelly rolls on our way to our next grand destination.
Yellowstone National Park, one of the best owing to its variety of natural attractions. We see the Gibbon Falls. Barrel Spring. The Norris Geysers.
The Grand Canyon plunges 1,000 feet below, providing a glimpse of the Earth's interior. The lower falls, where Yellowstone River ends, cascades 300 feet below. There are festive arrays of reds and yellows created by hot water reacting with volcanic rock.
In the Hayden Valley, the Yellowstone River meanders, leaving silt on brushes which animals thrive on. There are herds of bison, but don't be fooled by their seemingly passive behavior.
Yellowstone Lake is America's largest mountain lake. The water's 40-degree temperature can cause hypothermia. Further south, towards the Red Mountains, the fiery red carpet sparks a playground for a couple of autumn seekers. It is here where they rediscover each other.
Come, my beloved, let us fill our bins with the products of nature, as life fills so abundantly the domains of our hearts with endless beauty. Let us make the flowers our bed, and the sky our blanket, and rest our heads together upon pillows of soft hay. Let us relax after the day's toil, and listen to the provoking murmur of the brook.
What a passionate, pastoral poem.
Just south of Yellowstone is another great natural attraction, the Grand Teton. Do you know where it got its name? A French fur trapper saw the twin peaks of the mountain, likened it to a woman's breast, and named it after the French word Teton, hence the Grand Teton.
It has a broad green valley called Jackson Hole. It's studded with shimmering lakes and looping curves of the Snake River with unsurpassed scenes of changing moods, sometimes aglow with vibrant colors, sometimes soothing with its serene beauty. After basking all day in radiant yellows and fiery vermilions, we were not afraid to welcome the dark, but would take us closer to home and closer to each other's heart.
This is where it happens. Along the Oregon coast in the town of Bandon, I give in to sweet abandon.
At this Ocean View Hotel, I feel my left finger grow heavier by a carrot.
Vilma and I are closest when we are traveling together because we are the spirits of adventure. And in the spirit of the autumn and the harvest season, I'm happy to say that in this trip, I harvested Vilma's heart.